Good morning, Blake. Hi, Warriors.
Good morning, Dale. I was wondering if you were going to kick this off. I didn't, when I launched our show, after I grabbed the screen, I'm like, "Oh, Dale's here." And I'm happy to hear that. So how you doing this
Yeah,
morning? Happy Friday.
thanks, Blake. Good to be with you. And this is how I wanted to spend Good Friday this morning with you guys.
You
So
you are you are full of crap. You are full of
people,
crap. I
no,
I don't
people,
I Go
no,
ahead.
people call me a plow horse. You know what? I just can't stop working.
Hey,
You know what that's like?
I do. My wife hounds me all the time for being a workaholic. Just
I, yeah, I
it's
can't
either
throttle
that
back.
or one of our buddies in the chat room, Joe, one of my longtime buddies who chats with us all the time. He calls himself a degenerate gambler. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it's either
For
we're a
the action.
workaholic or we're degenerate gamblers. Maybe that's
Yeah.
it, right, K-Man?
Heidi, hi.
Heidi
TGIF.
ho.
Happy bunny chasing this weekend.
Well,
Everybody is.
yeah, so glad to hear your voice, buddy.
Yeah,
Um,
likewise, coach. How are you doing this morning?
you know what, guys? I hate to be premature because I've had false hope before, but I think I'm over it. It was 90 days of debilitating headaches without 1 day break, and I've had a couple now, and I was misdiagnosed. It wasn't migraines. It's what I always thought it was. And I had to argue with doctors to give me the right antibiotic for a chronic sinus infection. And my
Oh.
GP wouldn't do it, but I called my ENT guy the other day. And you know how they are. Well, he can't do anything until your appointment the 15th. I said, can you please just get him a message that I'm at the end of my rope every day? I'm going through this. What does he prescribe for his patients that have serious chronic sinus infections? So, my GP was giving me a Z-Pack, and I went in and told her that's not the right prescription, and she barely wanted to give me that. But my ENT guy prescribed Augmentin, and I've been on it, I don't know, 3 days now, and I feel like I'm getting better. I've gone a day or two without a serious headache. So they're not migraines. It was from a sinus infection.
That's awesome to
Misdiagnosed.
hear. That's
Mis-
amazing.
Misdiagnosed, guys. So, you know, they're not gods, these doctors. You have to be your own advocate and keep seeking solutions. Just like you do in trading. You have to be your own advocate. You don't depend on one person's ideas. You're constantly searching for the right answers, and that's what it was like. So anyway,
Glad you
and I,
finally found out what it is.
I diagnosed myself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you found out. Well done.
Yeah. So anyway, what a gift for Easter.
Yeah, I
JP,
know that's
headache free.
great.
That's
That
good
is
news.
great. Look, you're going to be hippity hopping around and jumping around looking for Easter eggs this holiday. I
Yeah.
can see it.
That is my Easter egg.
Well, great to hear, Dale. What I'd like to do is I'd like to pass you over the charts since your head's feeling better, and welcome everybody for being here. I know we're not broadcasting on YouTube, I don't think, and it's just those of you that really want to check in are here for the PCE. K-Man, we're really happy to have you here as well. And I want to just say good morning to all the people that are listening in. Barry, Eric, Forex Gal, Andrew, Richard, Michael, Igmar, Robert, going through here, Glenn, uh, let's see, AJ, Simon, really, really nice to have. And obviously we have a lot more, but these are just the ones that just said hi in chat, and
Yeah.
just good morning to everybody here that's listening in. So
Someone
Dale,
someone asked Blake why they're releasing PCE on a day when futures are closed, and I think it's so that everyone could have practice and experience of trading a gap on Sunday
Yeah.
night, Monday.
Or cold sweat for the whole of Easter.
Yeah,
right.
so that's why you get to you get to learn to trade in all environments. So this is how it used to be in the old days. I mean, markets would close,
Yeah.
and then you would get news, and if you were in just commodities and futures, there was no aftermarket.
You know,
You
and
just
I want to
go
say,
ahead.
Dale, that was probably one of my biggest reasons for actually based on my lifestyle is one of the biggest reasons why I switched gears in 2001 trading
Oh
predominantly
yeah,
and only equities, because we didn't have after hours trading back in the
no,
in the late 90s. So you would gap. It's like you just have to hold your breath overnight. A lot of it was sleepless nights, being stressed out, gapping higher, gapping lower, wouldn't know what to do. All these international markets weren't really connected. So I started trading currencies because I like the way that I could trade more of a swing style strategies around my lifestyle works so much better. And
yeah,
you're right. That was like that gapping still
yeah,
does happen. We
yeah.
obviously can get it over the weekend. And I haven't,
That's
it's
it.
been, K-Man, how long has it been in your opinion
Yeah.
since we've seen a really big gap in FX over the weekend? From liquidity providers. It's
From
been a while, hasn't it?
I think the Euro bottom happened with a gap over the weekend, if my memory serves. A
mm,
long time ago, maybe the 102 at the
It,
102 low.
was it the
well,
102 or the 96? I don't recall, but the real gaps, like big gaps. Yeah, okay, we had some war
elections.
situations, but that's already a long time ago. I don't
Remember,
know.
like elections, there's some European elections, and I remember this is the reason why I remember, because it was this time of year. It was the spring, because I was at a baseball game here in
Mm,
the US, and over the weekend, and it was a Sunday game because I was long Euro something, and then there was like an Italian prime minister election. Berlusconi. I'm just kidding. It wasn't that, but then the Euro gapped against me like 80 pips.
mm.
Sunday morning. That's the last one I like remember
Yeah.
myself.
But now we're talking about gaps of 50, 60, 80 pips. I mean, we Dale and I, and perhaps even no, perhaps you not so much anymore, Blake, but we know gaps after just a data number where the market gap 2%, just the price on the data.
Yeah.
Recall those days, unemployment or whatever it was, even money supply in those days was moving markets like
Yeah,
hell.
on Friday afternoons.
And the Friday afternoons, and then yeah, you never knew where the Monday morning would be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
there
ahead,
was
Dale.
even more extreme situations
Yeah,
in futures where there were not only gaps, but they would lock limit up or down, and you weren't able to get out because pools would build up. And
yeah.
there was, like the Mexican devaluation in the, I don't know, mid to late 70s.
Hmm.
You couldn't get a trade off, and
Yeah,
if you were long the peso, you
I
you
yeah
lost
I
your seat.
remember. I remember when I was in Tokyo. I think it must be 2012, and because we had like the early morning starts, and so I was in the office at around what 4 a.m. on a Monday morning in Tokyo, because the markets were opening in New Zealand, and there was a gap, and I wonder if it's not the Greek. The
Well,
Greek
wouldn't that be the three? That wasn't that the three prong
Oh, the
Abe?
Thai baht. Taibat
No,
prices?
not the Abe thing. The Abe thing happened, Abe election happened, yeah, when I was in Tokyo as well, but that was tradable.
Right.
Because actually in Japan, nobody really believed that Abe would change the picture so much. I was sitting there saying like, the only non-Japanese in the whole dealing room, by the way. I was sitting there, oh, this is a life-changing event, right? Abe and everything. And they were like, nah, nothing's gonna change. Nothing's changed for the past 20 years. And I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah,
No, there was
that's
another event. I think it was the Greek crisis also. And when we opened on Monday early morning, euro dollar was about, I don't know, a big figure and a half away or so. And that was the
mm.
last time really I remember a very big gap over a weekend.
Well, maybe we will get a gap over this weekend, Dale, following the PCE.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I have the benefit of, and you guys will get this weekend. I will do a week ahead video this weekend. So I'll obviously film one, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on how I'm gonna tackle next week. But I'm gonna point out a couple of key developments that I'm seeing right now in the markets. And Dale, can you take a moment after I'm done, kind of formulate your thoughts? I'm going to give you a few minutes to formulate your thoughts. Think about what you want to tell everybody that you're going to be looking at this next week. Kman, you as well. So give you guys a few minutes just to kind of think that through. I'm going to go off the cuff here, and I'm just going to give you. I didn't do the trade-off show. Well, actually, let me take that back. For those of you that watch the trade-off show with Chris Weston from Pepperstone, we do it once a week. Pepperstone does a really great job producing that. And it's a fairly short video that we do every week. We did it this week, but the volume was corrupt in recording. So unfortunately, it didn't get to go through all my best setups. But I'm gonna share with you guys just a couple things that I'm thinking. First of all, Sterling, you can see this really critical support. This is a 38% retracement, if you guys can see it, and I'm highlighting the fib level so you guys can kind of see exactly what I'm talking about. That 38% retracement comes in right at 125.70, basically. I'm gonna give you some rough numbers. It's also an 88% retracement of the last move up. You can see it right there. Channel support, 200 DMA. So there's multiple confluences here at 125.60, 70. If that breaks, I'm just going to straight out be short Sterling. I want to short it, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, whether it's through the pound dollar or it might be euro sterling. I might just buy euro sterling. It depends what the euro is doing at that time. That's kind of what I want to do with sterling. And I have to look into next week, seeing if there is data, and I'm not going to do that right at this very moment in time. But I do believe that the dollar index is very bullish. You saw yesterday we got this dip following the end of month, end of quarter,
And also the Fed Powell came off on Powell too, didn't it? The dollar?
I don't think so. He's going to be making some comments today, later on
Oh,
today, believe it or not.
I thought it was the Fed meeting and they sold off the dollar after that. Everything rallied and the dollar
Not
fell.
that I saw.
Yeah, it did for like 12 hours or so.
Yeah.
Wait, are you talking yesterday?
No,
No.
last week.
Oh, yes. No, I'm sorry. I was talking about yesterday's end of month, end of quarter.
Oh,
What I
okay.
was using is yesterday's sell off because we were expecting dollar selling to just
Yeah.
buy the
Oh, yeah.
dollar, because
Month end.
any dip you wanted to be able to buy yesterday, and I still
Yeah.
believe that. And even going into next week, any dip to this ascending trend line, the 200 DMA and the 50 DMA, they happen to be sitting right on top of each other. While we're above that, you want to be buying dips. I still think that the dollar is going to 106, and if we get
I
really
agree.
lucky, it's going to 109 and a quarter. Now I say really
Well,
lucky because if that happens, there's something bigger brewing in the market. That means there's going to be higher volatility. The dollar is only going to go up to that level, in my opinion. We're only going to see 109 to 110 is if there's a
crisis.
little big trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old
Agree.
reference. You might have got that one.
Yeah, it was
Anyway,
told you.
so I am looking for higher dollar, more dollar strength as long as we're above these levels. So I will be looking for dips. And you're right, that is the FOMC that created that dip last
Yeah.
week. This week or this next week, I'd like to hopefully see that again. One of the other things that we should probably be looking at, and just that we have yesterday, we rallied to new highs, like within 1 point of new highs in the S&P. We are struggling here. I don't want to be short equities, but we are. You got to be aware that if we start breaching lower lows and we start breaking some of these technical levels, that could argue that we're trying to develop some sort of top. We're not there yet, but yesterday, we did hit resistance, and I think it's worth noting that if we break that, channel resistance is about 75 points above where we're currently at. Then we should just start accelerating these gains, which could happen, after
Where would
today.
that come in, Blake? Above it, that other
30
one.
5350 is what I had, but it's actually
Okay.
it's rising quite rapidly,
Right.
like by like 15 20 points a day. So
Okay.
by the time we get there, it'd be like 5360, 5370. One of the other things that we can't ignore is freaking gold. Look at gold. And I met with Jim Welsh yesterday, Dale. That
Yeah.
interview is out and it's recorded. He was looking for one more high in gold, and then he thinks that that's it for a while. So,
That's a 3 drive, Blake. I've been talking
yep.
about that all week. We could get one more push up for 3.
Yeah. So where do you think we go from here? Do you think we actually hit 2260, Dale?
I don't think it has that much in it. It would blow out the divergence. It's on the verge of doing that anyway. So
Yeah. Okay.
I
I see
think
what you're talking about here.
yeah, we're pretty, we're pretty close, but I'm not going to do anything in front of the number.
Got it.
And then
Well, Dale, since you've had a few moments, what are you thinking is a big standout for you, and what you're going to be watching this next week?
I have the most conviction about the dollar completing to the upside, those levels that you were talking about.
So
And
you're in agreement with me that you
yeah,
still like the dollar higher. I do
yeah,
too.
103.80 is a big number. It's been a big number both ways, and I think that's where the pullback comes in. About 104, 103.80. I would buy it there, looking for a continuation move.
Me too. I feel I'm long dollars right now. I took some of my dollars off yesterday. I took my euro short and my sterling short, since the sterling didn't break down. Took those off, but I still have some dollar longs. I feel like I'm not long enough. So I'm with you, Dale.
Yeah.
If we got a dip like that, I would be adding back what I sold
And I know
yesterday.
gold has ignored dollar strength, but
Yeah,
if we're going to
yeah,
106.60, it won't ignore that. For, not a big pullback, maybe, $120 back to 2100, 2080.
yeah,
And I still think I'll be able to buy silver at that 23 and a half level, 23.20. So, and I think the dollar will be part of it, as yields could. If we get a strong number today, if yields could still extend to 450, 460, and that too would support the dollar and
yeah.
put pressure on other asset classes.
Looking at silver, I can't tell you how many. It seems like whether I'm listening to some macro analyst or some
Yeah.
technical analyst, and when I'm doing research and I'm writing for ForexAnalytix and writing all this basic technical analysis, and in the chat rooms talking with people, I'm usually listening to CNBC or some interview or whatever. I can't I can't even count and tell you how many people I've talked to or I've listened to, excuse me, that are just silver bulls. Everybody is a silver bull, and it's got to be a little scary that it hasn't broken out with gold. And you've got to be thinking, man, if gold ever pulls back and the gold silver ratio doesn't change much, silver is going to get hit, I would think. So, I would be a little nervous. I mean, and I have no other than, physical silver.
What are
I don't have it.
DSIs on gold and silver? Are they in the 80s?
They're not too exaggerated. Matter of fact, DSIs, the daily sentiment index, has been very unexaggerated through this entire move higher with
Around the 80s.
yeah, it's like it's not stretching. Like, yeah, gold's
Yeah.
82, silver 77. You look at the S&P, the S&P has been ranging between 70 and 80 this whole rally. That's telling you that sentiment, we're not getting strong enough moves in the markets. It's a grind, right? So when you get a grind, sentiment won't shift a whole lot. And so when you're just getting this grind higher, you're not seeing this extreme sentiment just yet in a lot of these assets, which I find fascinating because you every day you're going to get traders fading these moves because, you know, oh, we can't go any higher, we can't go any higher, or we can't go any lower, whatever asset you're looking at. And fact of the matter is we are. So, and by the way, this is the ForexAnalytix chat room. If you guys want to, you know, get some, like, these are good articles people post, and then you got your general chat room. Kman and Ryan are usually in the Flowonomics room, which is the macro chat room, and then we have our, you know, general chat where we're all, you know, talking about
High
market
level
stuff.
stuff in there.
Yeah, we talk about markets all the time, and there's people chatting 24 hours a day. So, and it's a closed chat room where we don't allow, you know, spam. We don't allow people to sell things. If they do, they're out for life. You know, we don't allow for religious or political talk. It's just markets. We keep it a very, very good, respectable. Everybody's very respectable to each other.
They're
Anyway,
lucky they only get life. They could be executed.
yeah, well, you know, lucky, right? Hey, I asked you, Dale, what you're looking at. Kman, I would be, I want to find out what you're thinking going into this next week, because it's going to be, you know, we've come off a kind of a quiet week off of a big week. So what are you thinking?
I agree on the dollar. I'm long on the Swiss. I'm short a bit of Kiwi. I bought some downside in the euro dollar again yesterday. That for the dollar positions. My favorite short is still Swiss. You know, in this environment, SMB is not fighting against anything, so I've got a few Swiss short through the crosses. On gold and silver, I think that for them to come off, there's not only the dollar in play, there's China in play as well, because China is constantly buying it, you know, that gold especially. And I think we need a China revival to alleviate the pressure on gold. But then I think your gold-silver ratio is going to come down, because since silver is an industrial metal, I think that could actually then do much better. So I've got a bit of a different approach on both of those currencies. But for the time being, I wouldn't stand in the way of this gold either. And before I continue, Rocky is asking, how do I access the chat room? Maybe you can put the web link in there.
Yeah. Once you log into ForexAnalytix, there's a right next to your avatar. There's a little link right there that you click on that, and it takes you to the chat room. I've got two chat room windows open.
But you
So
you need to take a sub to ForexAnalytix, which is very cheap for 10 days.
right, and
Too
you can,
cheap.
and then, yep,
Much too cheap.
much too cheap. I know. Well, we do that anyway. Okay, Kman.
Yeah,
So what else are you thinking here?
Yeah, and the rest, I just want to come back 1 second on the yen, because it looks as if the Japanese officials are starting to be a bit panicky. Saw this thing overnight, and it's in our news and research room as well, that actually they brought the meeting that they usually have between the government, the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Japan. They brought it forward for 1 day because they were very surprised, or they were a bit scared. No, that's not the one.
Oh, sorry.
They
Okay.
were scared about it's the first one that Gav posted, which is at untold hours your time, just above there. You go to the
Okay. Sorry. But you can see it.
there, that one.
Okay.
Just above. The first one in that line. The first one. Yeah, there you go. And so they seem a bit panicky. And then Suzuki was out as well, saying that it's not in line with fundamentals. And they do seem a bit panicky here on the level of the yen. So that is one that we can't lose sight of, you know. especially because we are refusing that 152 for various reasons, and that we already spoke about in our shows and in the chat room. So this seems to be really a very important level, and perhaps a very important time coming up. We saw the Tokyo CPI a bit stubborn overnight. Industrial production wasn't good, but yeah, I mean, I'm still, but I'm half hedged. I'm still long a bit of a dollar yen call, 150.5 for another couple of weeks. I'd like to see perhaps a blow through that 152 and then hedge my call more, because there is going to be risk if we get above there. I think they really seem very nervous about the yen situation.
You know, we were talking a little bit about this, Kman, about, you know, blowing through stops, just letting the market, and you can really see it in the 6J, you know, letting all the yen longs get just, whoops, let's see, there we go. Seeing all the yen longs get pushed out of the market first, before getting some sort of reversal. You know, see, this would be the equivalent of the dollar yen breaking 152. Do you think that you do think that is possible then?
I think the possibilities for interventions, they took up the speculation word again. So I think the risk for interventions, if we do another 150, 200 points in a day, because I think if 152 goes, because I really think now that there's like massive barriers up there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be trading 92, 95, 96 and then come back off. And I think there must be very big barriers there. And we could see, it's a bit short now in time to explain whatever can happen on barriers, because I've been trading a lot of those. But we could see actually, if it blows, a real 150 pip spike. Why not, you know? But then I think it's really going to be time to think about the other side, because then the intervention risk, in my opinion, is going to be extremely real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem very nervous now.
All right. Well, you know, that's coming, guys, from Kman. How long do you spend on a Japanese desk in Japan?
Yeah, in Japan, 5 years. But I've been market making yen since 1997.
So I consider you a boots on the ground yen trader for sure. So, and by the way, we are broadcasting on YouTube. I just found out we are live there, and people are watching us, quite a few actually. So, we got a couple of minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get set up for the event. Now, remember, with ForexAnalytix, you just open Data Flash here. It's in your calendar tab. And we'll get that PCE as it's coming out. Any expectations, Kman and Dale, for the PCE data? Kman, what do you think, real quick?
It looks to be a bit sticky again. But I'm not going to take any bets, you know. It's yeah, if it comes out as expected, I think don't change a winning team. I think most of the market is off, but that also gives the risk of a spike here, because there is not a lot of liquidity. So if you guys are in position, our listeners, be very careful, okay? Because we could have like rapid spikes, a bit of a saloon door move as well. So be a bit careful now.
Yeah, Dale. And matter of fact, I'm sorry, I put gold on over there. Bond market is bond market open right now? I should have looked.
No,
it's not, right? That's why I put gold over there. Got the dollar index to the left. And
gold isn't trading either.
Oh, is this from last night?
Yeah.
I guess it was. Holy cow! I guess it was. Well, you know,
gold, silver closed.
Yeah, I think
what
it
is trading? Just currencies?
You and I, Dale.
Yeah. So let's actually, you know what? We're gonna do a straight up dollar move.
Yeah.
And see what's up.
$1 on there. So I don't.
Yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea. Let's throw the euro on here. There, you got the dollar index, euro 15-minute chart. And we'll see instant reaction here. Dale, we have 30 seconds. Any thoughts here? Last minute?
Not really, Blake. Nothing that is worth considering.
All right. Hey guys, hold on to your seats here. So be careful. It's gonna be a little little wide as far as the
Yeah,
spreads
yeah,
go.
yeah. Because the spreads have widened as well this morning. Huh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I see really wide spreads right now on my platforms.
Yeah, don't trade today.
No, this is more of risk management at this point,
Yeah.
but
We're
perhaps we
just
could do.
curious. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go. Data should be coming out.
Roughly in line, tickety lower on the price index month on month.
Higher revisions.
Yeah,
Look at the revisions coming through.
1/10.
Would you call this a non-event?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, nothing market changing anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just looking around. I mean,
Personal spending, quite okay on the month on month.
Euros firming up a little bit.
Yeah, ticky. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I wouldn't be, trading this. This is not something
No,
for me to be trading.
no.
And to be frank, all my positions are pretty much status quo and not really moving. All of a sudden the Kiwi's getting a little bit of a bid, but I have no
Good. Let
Kiwi
these
exposure.
currencies rally. It'd be nice shorts next week.
Yeah, I mean, you might get some,
We were
but
talking about that. We would buy the pullback in the dollar
yeah,
back to that channel.
I don't think that the euro is going to get much above 108 if it does today. If it does, you're going to get people stepping in front of it. Even though the data came in a little weaker than expected, the revisions are higher. So go ahead, Kman.
Yeah, there was something strange this morning because euro was trading a bit lower, and I do think that even though yesterday we don't have any official fixings today coming out, WMR is not producing any, but I do seem to. I found that perhaps there was still some month-end flows going through in the morning session in Europe. So we just can't rule out that some of those late flows have waited for really the last day of the month. But apart from that, I'm with you. I don't think that we should be looking to do anything specific here, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think it's going to be fairly quiet. And that means that you guys can spend your time
Yeah.
Chasing
looking
bunnies.
your
for
holiday.
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I'm going to chase bunnies.
Yeah, I'm going to be right behind you chasing some bunnies today.
What kind? Playboy
Probably
bunnies?
more dust bunnies than anything in my
Oh, yeah.
office.
All right. Yeah. The desert will produce those, won't they?
Yeah.
They
So,
do. They do.
yeah.
It's a dust bunny haven over here.
Anyway, great week with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
likewise, Dale, and very happy that you feel better when you finally diagnosed what it is.
I should have been a doctor, but I am. I'm a
It's still
doctor.
not too late, huh?
I'm a
Not too
doctor
late.
of guessing direction in markets. That's my doctorate.
Mm.
So I hope everyone has a great holiday.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you know,
Hey, I want to also mention really quick before we say our goodbyes. Next Friday, so exactly
yeah,
1 week from this moment, we are going to go over what we'll have non-farm payroll, instant reaction, but also the ForexAnalytix team. We're going to be talking about a new project that we have going on. We were going to release or talk about it a week and a half ago. We wanted to fix a couple of things technology wise, but it's going to benefit, I think, a lot of people, and it's going to allow it's going to be really good for people that want to be involved. So make sure that you're here. You don't have to do anything different than you're doing right now. Just be on the show. Be listening in via YouTube, listening in via your Zoom links, however you listen to the F.A.C.E webinar. Just be here exactly 7 days from right at this moment in time, and we will be talking about it.
so don't just count your pips, count your blessings, and surround yourself with traders better than you, and you'll rise to their level. We offer you that opportunity.
Well,
So,
thank you, Coach.
yep,
Really
yep.
appreciate you. Happy Easter and happy holiday, whatever holiday you happen to be celebrating this season. Hope you have a nice, elongated weekend. I know you guys came in Europe and in the UK. You guys are celebrating Easter Monday, right? We'll
As
be
well,
here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, so there will be no flow show on Monday, but we pick it up again on Tuesday.
Yes, thank you very much for that reminder. So we'll be here on Monday since the U.S. equity markets will be open. So we'll be doing the F.A.C.E show, but it'll be limited staffing as Kman and Ryan will probably be
Yeah, I
still
may
enjoying.
be around, you know.
All right. Well, it will be blessed if you're here with us on Monday, Kman.
He'll
Okay,
be here.
thank you, Dale. Thank you, Blake. Great team. Have a very pleasant Easter, everybody.
Yes, happy
Back
Easter
at you.
to you. Yep, back at you. And Dale, I hope you have a wonderful weekend yourself.
Thanks, buddy.
And
Good to
glad
be
you're feeling
painless.
better. Really
Yeah,
glad you're
good to
feeling
be
better.
painless.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, so everyone will be back here to lay it on the court for you next week after we know who the Elite Eight is in the NCAAs. So
it's going to be a big one.
That may be more interesting than the PCE we just saw today.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There was an upset.
Yeah.
The U of A went down yesterday. I couldn't believe it.
I saw that. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was Barkley's pick to go all the way.
Oh, I'm telling you, it wrecked a lot of brackets last night. I'm sure. So anyway, good luck, everybody. Happy holidays and all the best to you this weekend.
And your families. Adios.
Yes, and your families.